Good morning, everyone. I'm here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Virgo. Tomorrow will be Libra because I know I have a lot of Librans on my channel and they very often say, we can't wait for the Libra reading. It will be tomorrow. So today it's Virgo. Now, if I were to ask you, Virgo, what sign you were, if you answered Virgo, then it's more than likely it's your sun sign. And that means that you're only listening to one aspect of yourself. So it's really good to understand that your sun sign is not the only component that is relative to you. So in the Western astrology, we tend to recognize sun signs. In many of the other astrologies, they will follow the moon sign. And so it's really good to understand at least your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. Now, to find out your ascendant or rising, you need to be really close to working out what your time of birth is. If you don't have your time of birth, it will be harder to get your ascendant. However, I've sort of worked out a little way of doing it for myself, but because mine was a little unclear. So really and truly, if you want to find out, then go to Google natal chart or birth chart. You can download a report which will tell you where all the planets were when you were born and really help you to have a look at yourself and why you may respond or react the way you do depending on where it is in your where those energies were in your sign when you were born. I used to think it was really strange because you read all the stars in the paper and you sort of pick up all of those, and I think that in Western astrology, the sun sign sort of seems to be the one that's focused on. But as I said, the idea of it just representing a certain aspect of you, if you're trying to read the Virgo signs and they never seem to resonate, then maybe your moon sign's the one you need to watch for. I've said for years ago, I'm a Capricorn, a sun sign, but my moon sign is Libra. And I've always found the Libra readings are much more relative to me than what the sun signs are. So not that Capricorn doesn't resonate sometimes, but it doesn't resonate as often as what a Libra does. So have a look at it, really interesting. And if you, for example, if you have Virgo in your Venus, it means you love like a Virgo. So you have a style of love that is a Virgo. If you have Scorpio rising, it could be that your Scorpio energy, it's not Scorpio rising, sorry, Scorpio Venus, means that you love like a Scorpio. So yeah, some of those things are really interesting to work out about yourself, but I'll leave that with you. We're going to use the Hanson Roberts deck today. I just realized I just did something really strange. Okay, going to be one of those days. Hanson Roberts deck. So thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I do have membership available now, so if you're interested in learning about the tarot, you want to join me in groups and also be ready for giveaways, then you can join the membership program. You would need to get the deluxe one to access the tarot videos. But we're going to get there. We'll get some stuff up and running very shortly. All right. Hanson Roberts deck. Ooh. Some sort of communication coming in for you, Virgo. It's coming in very quickly, very rapidly, and I feel like the person may be a little bit anxious to speak to you. I do have the Magician coming out first. The Magician is a card that talks about manifestation. It's the beginning of a cycle. It means that you sort of have the world in your hands at the moment. You have all the tools you need to create what it is you want. Now, I feel like the Magician gets a really, like, it's a bit like the Knight of Wands, gets a really, or Seven of Swords, gets a really heavy deal. None of the tarot cards are bad or good. They just have information. When we see the Magician, we know we're in a position to create. We have the cups, the wands, the pentacles, all are in our hands. The wand is here, of course. So it means that we have learned from the previous cycle and we're going to put those elements into play in a new cycle coming round. So great card for manifestation. We do have the Strength card coming through, so this really tells me, you may be dealing with a Leo here, it really tells me that you have done the work of that previous cycle. So you've learned a lot from, a period of time. Now, a cycle may only last you a very short time, or some cycles we're taking through our lifetime. So we may have cycles that we've had for a really long time that we just feel a part of us. If anybody ever says to you, I can't change, I'm too old to change, remember that's absolutely nonsense, because we know through all of the scientific evidence that we can still create new neurons, new brain matter. We are plastic, or plasticity, which means that we can constantly learn new things. So what I feel like here is that you have learned about something here. You've completed some sort of cycle here, perhaps in regards to a particular person that made you see that. But it can also mean that you have inherited some traits from your family that you are still carrying. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. I feel like you're changing direction. All right, I feel like, Virgo, you may have had a relationship that perhaps didn't go the way you wanted it to, and perhaps you're learning why that was, and you don't want to repeat that pattern. You don't want to meet the same sort of person again. Maybe it's happened more than once. This is sort of very similar to what's cracking reading today, and where we're understanding what our patterns or cycles are. I feel like there's someone new coming in here. And it may be somebody who's vastly different to what you've had before. So it may be a person that you normally would not be attracted to, but because you've gone through the work you have, perhaps I've got a really strong feeling here that for some of you, you may be sort of setting your sights lower, feeling you're not worthy of someone more worthy. So I think we've all done that. We've met someone who we think, oh, if they're out of our league, they'll never stand a chance with them. And I think now I look back and think, why did you think that? Why were you thinking you weren't good enough for people? That's a cycle. So all people are the same. People are all the same. I remember years ago somebody saying to me, we're all the same with no clothes on. So I don't know why we get this idea that people are better than us or less than us, because everybody is the same. No matter, how well educated you are, how rich you are, how poor you are, how little education you've had, we're all human beings. We're all exactly the same. The colour of our skin doesn't matter. So what I feel like here is that you are meeting someone who perhaps in the past you would have not considered. And maybe you're still stuck because of that person that you had in your past that maybe has opened the door to you learning more about yourself. Remember, everybody comes in to show us something. Everybody comes in to mirror something back. Everybody comes in to crack us open and make sure we're looking at those parts of ourselves that we're ashamed of or that we don't realize exist. So somebody is coming towards you here. Yeah, look at that, the Lovers card straight out of the gate. This says to me the work you've done, which is showing here with the Magician, has been so beneficial for you that you are creating something new. So the Spirit is saying because you've worked on something so well that the next thing that comes along will be aligned with you, more than likely emotionally. Brand new beginning with the Fool card coming through, 2 major arcanas. Then we have the 3 of Wands with the Page of Wands. Whoever this person is, they're not far away. They're really in your energy. So for me, there is some sort of communication coming in here. Somebody is really wanting to woo you. It's an old-fashioned word. Really wanting to sort of sweep you off your feet and take you to a new time. And I feel like this has been directed. 9 of Cups, a wish coming true. All right, we have the Page of Swords. Oh, wow, such beautiful cards. Look at all the major arcanas. We talk about fate and destiny, and not everybody believes in fate or destiny, or the fact that life is written already, that we don't we already decide what we want in this lifetime before we come here. So not everybody has the same beliefs, and that's fine. But when I say this feels to me like it's destined, especially with the Star coming through, what I mean is that you know, sooner or later you're going to meet someone who was very well matched to who you are. That doesn't mean you've got to have everything in common. But what it does mean is that this person fits yin to yang. And that's what I feel like sometimes we're so busy seeking out someone who's similar to us on so many levels, but actually it's really beautiful to meet someone who's very different to you. And you still have things in common and you have things that you do together. It doesn't mean you are completely mismatched, but it's okay to have someone who's the opposite to you. I don't know why we have this idea that we have to meet someone who has everything in common with us. All right, so there is definitely a beautiful energy here. I do have the Two of Pentacles with the High Priestess. All right, that to me is, don't doubt. You can trust yourself on this one. So if you've had bad experiences in the past, it's almost like you don't have to sort of second guess yourself. You know, I say to people when they, you know, have readings with me, you know, don't sit around, you know, wondering where something is going. You know, is this relationship going to be something more going forward? You know, will this person and I be there forever? Stop. Live in the moment. Have fun with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, it does. But you don't have to always wonder where you're going. And this to me is your self-doubt needs to be left behind here. Trust your intuition. Have fun with it and go for it. Because I feel like this is a really nice relationship. All right, so have you manifesting something new? And I feel like here you've done the work. The cycle is now closed. So I feel like in the past you may have been loved by people who perhaps, yeah, I wonder, just could see things their own way. Yeah, look, and it led to some sort of emptiness or some sort of sadness within you. You know, sometimes we can repeat those patterns, but the reason we're repeating is because we're not healing or learning from it. So if something happens in your life time and time again, and you're one of those people who goes, this always happens to me, then you've got a lesson to learn that you are not learning. All right, let's read your card from the Elemental. Oh, that one wanted to come out. It's Beginnings and East. Beautiful cards. Let's have a look what this is about. Number 3, for those of you who are 3 numbers. And it's the card of East, and it's about new beginnings. Worry not, a new dawn is breaking. Let go of the old and embrace the new. Flow forward with heaviness and anxiety. Don't flow forward without heaviness or anxiety. New ways of being are calling to you. Speak up with a clear voice. Do not resist change. So I feel like here, so East was associated with air. So it may be an air sign that's coming towards you. So Eastern religions, it talks about Eastern religions. So like the star signs in the beginning, I feel like perhaps that is really pointing to that too. You know, sometimes we sort of, some of the star signs from the Eastern countries were very different to what we use in Western astrology. So it's really good to have a look into that if you're interested. But I feel like here that this is just saying to you that change is coming. The way you've been doing things up until now hasn't worked as well for you. So you're getting a chance to review and do things differently. So please trust your intuition. If you're unsure, just put those doubts aside and just have fun with it. You know, if you're going out with somebody you enjoy their company, but you're not really sure if it's going to amount to anything, then let it go and let it unravel all by itself. And I always say to people, you know, you can ask that question of people. You don't have to sit back and worry about things or stress out about things, because we have a voice for a reason. And at the very least, if you say to somebody, are you interested in having a relationship, or do you see something long term for yourself? And they say, no, not interested in a relationship, not interested in long term, then trust what they're saying. Because a lot of people, I've done it myself, we go put ourselves back out there, but the last thing we want to do is get trapped in another negative downward relationship. You know, we can really like the person, but unfortunately it mightn't be the true person that they're showing us. Some people have a very, very good way of using a mask to conceal who they really are. It's very sad because it is a sign of low self-esteem and confidence. And I feel like when you've done the work and the journey and the healing, you will start to understand, if people don't like your true self, then they aren't right to have around you anyway. So, you know, and that is a big learning. It is a big cycle to close where you say, I don't want to pretend to be something I'm not anymore. But anyway, I will leave you with that, Virgo, and Libra's up tomorrow. Thank you.